This week, we hit the road solo for a cold weather camping trip in the desert. Powered up the diesel heater for the first time this season and made a highly recommended dish, recommended by you guys, using the Coleman oven.
Ah, get out of here! Get out of here! Do some exploring around here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Tonight we are doing some camping. We're off of Lovell Canyon Road right now. We are doing some exploring. I'm currently on foot because the beginning of this little trail here said no motor vehicles, but there's obviously a road right here, so I just wanted to walk down, get some steps in, you know, and check out this little clearing that I saw on Google Maps satellite. If this spot doesn't pan out, there's another spot down there that I've never camped at. So usually when I drive past this area, there's a lot of people camping, which is why I've never camped in this particular area. This is a turnoff off of Lovell Canyon Road called Forest Road 548. The only problem though is that we are on this ridge, so it is going to be, I think, pretty windy. Here's that little clearing I was talking about. Not as big as I thought it would be. Winter is here, y'all. Even in Vegas, it's pretty cold, so I know for sure being in the mountains up here is definitely gonna be cold as well. We're gonna make our way back to the truck, reposition ourselves at our campsite. Whew. It is a little chilly today. All right, guys, camp for the night. Low 30s tonight. So I did bring the diesel heater. We're gonna be powering that thing up for the first time this weekend. Did bring my big coat as well, because it's gonna get chilly tonight, guys. Should probably put my beanie on too. One of my first rules for camping out in winter, or at least in colder weather, is definitely start bundling up before your body starts getting cold. I already got my base layers on. I got some long johns, got a base layer underneath my shirt. By the time you start like shivering, it's kind of hard to come back from that, you know, so you want to try and nip that in the butt early. Oh yeah, much better. All right, let's get camp set up. So for those of you who have not seen the diesel heater setup, I will leave a link to my first video using this from last year, and it kind of goes over all the different components, so I'll leave that link down below. This is the first time I'm running it this season, so I'm really hoping it just fires up. But I have the buddy heater as a backup, just in case. I did bring the table tonight because I knew I was going to be using the oven today, and I wanted a separate table from my tailgate in case I wanted to hang out inside and close myself up if it gets too cold while dinner is cooking on the side here. So let's get this oven all set up. We're going to set the fire pit kind of behind the truck here to give it a little bit of a wind screen, because the wind is blowing in from that way. We're gonna go into bunk mode here. All right, got the bed all set up. Let's get this diesel heater set up. Oh my gosh, it is so freaking windy right now. No, I did not check the weather. It's confusing because it feels like it shouldn't be this cold because it's so sunny right now. But the sun is lying. I'm using the smaller exhaust pipe tonight because with this wind, I'm not too worried about it. Always the tricky part right here. Just trying to screw this into the hole here. There you go. So I got my clean air intake over here, got my exhaust on this side. The wind is blowing that way, so all the exhaust should blow away from all of this. Got my battery in the back here. Let's get her plugged in and let's just turn it on. Oh, and I have the diesel hose up here as well. And this is where the warm air is gonna flow out of. Let's turn this thing on. I got the Blue Eddy AC70 with me tonight. Turn on the DC here, and now we got power. We got power to the diesel heater, so let's check it outside. Diesel heater is powered on right now. All we need to do is just hit on. All right, I'm hearing the fan come in. It's getting warmed up. Give it a minute. Pretty much all set up here. Got the kitchen set up. Got our fire pit. All we gotta do is set up our camp lights for the night. And a couple of you guys have asked about these lights, and unfortunately it looks like Free Spirit Recreation, which is the makers of this light, unfortunately they don't make it anymore. I know a couple of you guys have been asking about it, because I really do like this light, so I might go and upgrade to their latest and greatest version. Maybe I'll email them, see if they want to partner up on a video, but this is the only light we ever bring to camp, and it lights up all of camp. All right, so the diesel heater just turned on. You can see some of the exhaust right here. The fuel pump is running. So let's see if there is some heat coming out of this guy. Yep, so it's still cold, so it's still getting warm. I do feel air coming into this thing, so that's good. So from what I've heard, because this is fuel from last year, burn it for about 10 minutes and then we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna set this light up first. The only thing it doesn't have is a headlamp, which, you know, that's the only other light that I charge out of all of our camp gear, but this light otherwise can light up the entire camp from inside the truck and outside the truck. And got all my ready pods on the back. Everything charges all at once, so that's one of the big reasons why I love this light, is because of the pods in the back. And it's solar, so I'll let it charge out in the last rays of the sun tonight. We are in full swing. I'm not seeing any black smoke now, which is good. It's just old diesel being burnt off, is what I understand. So we got warm air coming in here now, which is good. Nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off for right now, since we don't need it right this second. So use the little remote. It's warmed up now, so you can hear the fuel pump kind of slowing down. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. There you go, fuel pump turns off, and then it'll shut itself off here in a second. I'm really glad I didn't lose this from last year, but I put a little zip tie right here just to hang this guy on over for the summertime so I don't lose it. But whenever I'm inside, I'll just hang him with my keys so that when I'm inside the truck, I can just turn on the on switch and get the air flowing in here. That is pretty much it. All right, guys, just been hanging out, enjoying the sunset. Y'all know what time it is, though. And in case you guys didn't know, YouTube isn't my full-time job. In my day job, I'm actually an IT systems analyst, and I've been in the industry for over 10 years. So I've heard a lot of horror stories around IT security and people's identities being stolen, and the countless number of data breaches that have happened, from Dell, Ticketmaster, to National Public Data, who suffered a major breach compromising over 2.9 billion records that includes full names, social security numbers, birthdays, addresses, and phone numbers. So now more than ever, it's important to keep your personal data safe so you don't risk having your identity stolen, which is why I use Aura, who happen to be the sponsor of today's video. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web, to alert you about potential identity theft. Aura also provides a variety of other features to help keep you safe online, including a VPN for secure browsing, credit monitoring, data broker opt-out to stop companies from stealing your personal information, and so much more. With everyone being connected more than ever, I'm not leaving myself vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/CadenVentures for a free 2-week trial, which is enough time to find out whether or not your personal data has been exposed. And full disclosure, I've only started using Aura recently, but Carly has been using Aura for over a year now. And she said she really liked it, so I was looking into a credit monitoring system anyway because I just knew I needed one, especially these days because I've been getting a lot of spam calls and stuff. Coincidentally, Aura reached out and I accepted. So I will leave a link to their information down in the description below if you guys are interested. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. I have a bottle opener on my belt. So tonight, guys, we are drinking a classic Guinness. This is actually the Guinness Extra Stout, though. Tonight for dinner, we are actually going to be making shepherd's pie. The first time I started using the Coleman oven, a lot of you guys commented about wanting me to make shepherd's pie, so tonight I figured, what a great night to do it. It's going to be a cold night, so I knew something warm and comforting would be a great plan. So tonight we're making a little bit of a twist on shepherd's pie, though. This particular recipe uses Guinness, so I figured I might as well make a drink out of this as well while we're at it. Comment down below if you guys have had a black and white, which essentially is a Guinness mixed with a blonde beer. So it's got the little extra stout, so this is a 5.6%, but it does have a little bit more of a kick to your tongue at first. The sun starting to set here. It is super cold, but man, is it pretty out here. Lovell Canyon's been fairly quiet this afternoon. I think because no one really likes to camp in this type of weather. I love it. Lack of crowds, and the weather is just better, so you don't have as many bugs. It's comfortable as long as you have the correct gear for winter camping, so don't just come out here without being prepared, because you will be cold and you will be miserable. But if you are prepared and you have the right gear, it's quite a pleasant experience and very relaxing, quiet. There's a lot of people usually out here, but I maybe saw like two travel trailers out here. Before we start making dinner, I also bought myself a little Christmas gift. These were on sale. I was waiting for them to be on sale, and then they finally were. So, say hello to my new... Oh my gosh. If anyone thought I was bougie, now is the time to say I'm bougie, because we're having internet anywhere we go now, y'all. And I'm sure people have some mixed thoughts around having internet everywhere you go. Personally, I think it's pretty convenient, but obviously there are some times where, you know, you're okay with being disconnected. So I think it's, you know, kind of a pro and con. I go out so often that it is convenient to have. Starlink was on sale for $4.50. Normally it's about $6.99. Or no, sorry, $5.99. And this is the Starlink Mini. So I'm excited because this thing is so much smaller than normal Starlink. If you guys have seen my video with Brian Hauer, the guy who camps out of his Tesla and does a lot of different like EV type of adventures, he has the big Starlink, and that came in handy when we were in Valley of Fire. So shout out to Brian. I will leave that video of us hanging out and exploring Valley of Fire together, but he had Starlink and it was really cool. His setup is really awesome. Let's do it while the sun is still out. Oh, that was supposed to be a lot more dramatic. Oh, losing dexterity, y'all. All right, got some instructions here. Get it connected to power. Download the app. I have not touched this at all. Oh man. Oh, there it is. I was like, I was missing a cord. Plug this guy in over here. And then plug this over here. This base thing. I think this is just if you plan on mounting it. Yeah, this is just if you have like a mount, so you don't actually need this. It's just this. So that's it. Let's get this plugged in. Let's see what happens here. This looks like a good spot for it here. There. That over there. Okay. This down. Let's plug into our battery bank in here. I'm gonna use the AC outlet this time. There you go. So we're at 97%, just FYI. Turn off the DC for right now, but I am gonna turn on the AC so that we could get the Starlink pumping. And from what I've heard is that the reason why the Mini is so nice is because it doesn't draw a lot of wattage, which is cool. All right, so what's next down here? Scan the app and then just connects, it looks like. All right, so that's it. Just plug and play. Let me check my app here. I already downloaded and signed into Starlink, so got the Mini. I have a clear view. There we go, Starlink connected. All right, so it's downloading some software. I have like barely a bar, so hopefully it's using itself to download stuff, because otherwise it's gonna take forever. All right, so while that downloads, I'm just gonna let my phone chill, like right here. There we go. And let's get this fire rolling, guys, because brr. Yes. It's currently 43 degrees. Sun is barely set, so you already know it's gonna be like low 30s by the time we go to bed today. So I have a feeling we're gonna be hanging out in the truck here soon. But you can go and get everything out here. There we go. Grab my beer for later. Some hot sauce. Got some breakfast for the morning. Hopefully my egg didn't break. Be careful, egg. You are all alone in here. Worcestershire sauce. That's what I need in there. What I really should get is like a 270 awning, like the side panels. That way I can kind of create like a little shelter around. Might keep the space a little bit warmer, you know, but it's all good. 26%. All right, Starlink, you better be, oh, there we go, 94. Almost there. We're gonna go and get our beef browned up, start cutting some things up as well. Salt and pepper. This, I think this might be better because you're a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. We're gonna use the fire pit to brown up some beef. All right, Starlink, what's happening here? Oh, ready to update. All right, install now. So it says I'm connected now. I'm trying to run a speed test just to, okay, there we go, there we go. 61 Mbps. Upload is 9.2. Better than nothing, though, you know, so that's pretty cool. And we are connected. Ah, gorgeous out here. It's almost Christmas time, so I'm not sure if there will be another video or if this is going to be the last video of the year. But if it is the last video of the year, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Thank you guys so much for all the support and love on the channel. I really appreciate it. I always say that my audience is the best audience out there, so I appreciate y'all. So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be making shepherd's pie by popular request. The first time we brought out the Coleman oven, a lot of you guys, like probably a handful of you guys, mentioned shepherd's pie. I've actually never made shepherd's pie personally, so I'm stoked to try this out. It's going to be a little twist on it. It's going to be like a Guinness shepherd's pie. To keep it simple, I did buy some mashed potatoes that were already mashed up and ready to roll. Figured some garlic mashed potatoes would be really good. And I do have some garlic to saute with the meat. So we're going to use this for our trash can here. Put this in here for right now. I'll put our little pie crust in here too, since that's about to fly away. And let's get cutting. Oh man, if I was smart, I would have pre-cut all of this, but I'm not. So here we are. I'm going to get some hand warmers though, because Literally, I am losing dexterity. Ah, get out of here! Get out of here! Just freaking saw a mouse. Trying to sneak up into camp. All right, y'all, let's cut some veggies up. Should have brought my trash can. Add it to the list of things I should have brought. Cannot believe I just saw a mouse. It was a pretty fat mouse too. Luckily it ran off. Scared it away. I literally should have like pre-cut this stuff at home. I don't know what I was thinking. Because I was not thinking. And this onion's looking a little sus here. Alright. Salvaged as much onion as I could. Oh man, I have a feeling that I'm going to regret camping out up here. It's gonna be so windy, I have a feeling. But it's alright. It'll be alright. Oh my gosh, y'all. It is so cold right now. Trying to cut this up as quickly as I can. Get this warmed up again here. Alright. Just trying to make some noise so that mouse knows that I am here. Because I swear, if I come home with a mouse, I'm gonna be pissed. Alright, that is it. So, we're gonna saute up the onions first and then add the ground beef. Some here. I actually had some like mouse, like little like mice repellent little packs. They're like mint packs, or peppermint, which I guess mice don't like. So I really should have brought those out. I kind of forgot that, like in the summer you bring bug spray. In the wintertime you should really bring those around, because especially in areas like this, I just don't want any mice to hop into my engine and take a nap and rip everything out, you know, so. But he ran away pretty quickly. Hopefully I scared him pretty well, and I'm trying to make a lot of noise out here so he knows I'm here and he won't creep up on me again. But for all I know, his house is probably right freaking here, and I wouldn't be surprised about that. There's a lot of brush and stuff out here, you know. Alright guys, getting our onions sauteed here. Alright, we're going to let that brown, and then we're going to add in our carrots and celery. Put a little beef broth stock in there. Garnish with salt and pepper, and then we'll get everything together. So I got all the lights up around the truck. Got one over here, got all these lights over here, and then by the diesel heater I got this light over here. Especially with the Starlink, I don't want him like chewing on the cord or anything like that, but I imagine when I get the diesel heater running with that sound, hopefully he stays away. And I hope you're listening to me, little mouse. Stay away. Well, anyway, So getting the beef is almost done. I'll get the carrots and the celery all in there. We'll mix the Guinness, the Worcestershire, and the beef broth along with the flour, because we're gonna create kind of like a, I guess like a thick mixture. Because essentially when we add the beef broth, we're gonna get it to a boil and get everything to thicken before we load it up into our pan over here. So it's not helping that it's super windy right now and the fire pit is having a hard time keeping the cast iron hot, so I might put the top lid on. Let the carrots and celery saute for about 5 minutes, and then we'll add all our liquids in here. All right, everything is browned up, looking good. What we're gonna do now is throw in a tablespoon and a half of flour. I already pre-measured this. Throw that in, mix it up. We're just gonna let this simmer, or not simmer, but just saute for another minute to kind of get this flour mixed in there. And I did add the garlic too, by the way. So about 2 cloves of garlic. I just used like pre-minced garlic because I'm lazy. Ain't nobody got time for that out at camp. Ain't nobody got time for this in camp, man. I should have like I should have pre-made this filling, you know, but here I am. For you guys. But we're gonna let this sit for a minute. So after our flour, we're gonna add in our Guinness here. Measure out 2 cups of beef broth. I also added some cumin and a little bit of nutmeg and some Italian herbs. Get it to a boil and then let it simmer. So the beef has pretty much boiled down, so what we're looking for is just kind of like a thicker consistency. A lot of the liquid is out of there. So this is almost done, so we're gonna get our oven warmed up and we're gonna start building our shepherd's pie in here. Let's get the oven going here. Get that warmed up. Get this mixed up here, get it ready. Take this off here. And let's assemble. All right, so we're gonna do a light layer. So I'm just gonna like make a half pan because this pan's not the biggest, so I'm just gonna do like half of it. So we're just gonna throw down the beef here. Cover the bottom here. Alright, so now we're going to add the mashed potato on top. I'm really trying not to make this too thick because otherwise it's going to take forever to get warmed up in the oven here. So just trying to do like a thinner layer, and my butt doesn't need this much potatoes, y'all, so so I just used a little bit of that, so I could make another smaller little shepherd's pie. But on top here we're gonna add some smoky mac and cheese. And just a little bit more cheese on the sides here. trying not to make a mess so that that mouse isn't enticed to come over here. Good to go. Oh my gosh, it is freaking cold. Oh, okay. I'm really hoping the oven is gonna be able to do this because it is so windy right now, so we'll see. I think I'm gonna cover it just to help it warm, you know. So let's go and cover this guy. All right, there we go. Gonna leave that in for probably 30 minutes, so we're gonna get cleaned up over here, get everything put away, get everything packed in the truck so that we don't attract any mice. So it's a good thing I keep extra fuel in my truck box because I completely ran out of fuel, and I don't think the shepherd's pie is ready yet. I think it needs probably another 5-10 minutes, so luckily I keep an extra can with me. But I'm gonna get the diesel heater started because it's getting cold, y'all. My toes are freezing. Fire's doing, you know, fire's doing pretty well though, but I'm just gonna get the camper warmed up for us. There we go. And while we do that, we're gonna sit by the fire and try and not have our toes fall off here. Ugh. I had a little bit of the mashed potatoes with the meat filling before I threw it into the oven, and ooh, I'm excited. It tasted so good. I'll leave a recipe link down below to this like Guinness shepherd's pie rendition. I did pretty much everything it said except create my own mashed potatoes, since ain't nobody got time to boil up some taters out here, you know. Having the box mashed potatoes definitely made it faster. But note to self, anytime it's super cold out, I just need to pre-make some things, or at least make it as easy as I can, because man, my hands were freezing. My hands are still freezing. It's pretty cold right now. With the diesel heater, it should be a pretty warm night is what I'm hoping. Oh yeah, super nice and warm in here. Oh yeah, diesel heater is amazing. A little bit more organized here, put a couple things away. I feel like with the heater kind of pointing downward, I feel like I should sit down here, but it is more comfortable on the chair. But if I'm sitting over here, usually I'll stand like over here, which is nice, but this is nice because the heater's right here, so it's right in my area, keeps me warm. But then I kind of gotta like twist my neck to go over here. So, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's comfortable, you know? Like I mentioned earlier, we're actually gonna make a little drink here. I really wish this was not so big, but it is what it is. Brought a chilled glass. So we're gonna make a black and white. Comment down below if you guys have ever heard of that. Essentially, it's just like a mix of a dark beer and a light beer, specifically for Guinness. So let's pour this Guinness here. Or actually, I think it's the white beer on the bottom, and then you add the Guinness float on top, I think. Yeah, let's try that. I'm not sure how I would have floated that without one of those long like stir thing that you can pour the Guinness down into so it floats on the top. But we camping, y'all. This is already pretty fancy for me to have a glass in here. 805 and some Guinness. Cheers, y'all. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. This is gonna go really well with our shepherd's pie if it ever finishes in the oven. It's super windy out and it's cold, and so I have a feeling the oven just, it's struggling right now, you know? I'm just trying to get the cheese melty on top, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna let it do its thing and just be patient. Oops. Making a mess up in here. But yeah, diesel heater is really nice. It's actually quite warm down here with the diesel heater hose kind of coming down into this area, and then it'll, you know, the heat rises, so it'll heat up the upstairs where we're sleeping tonight. I might actually put the panels in tonight so that the diesel heater has less of a surface to warm up. Prior to getting the diesel heater, I was using a buddy heater to warm up the space, and it was really wet. The downside of having the buddy heater or using propane heat is that there's a lot of condensation that's generated, but the biggest benefit is the diesel heater does not create any type of condensation. But yeah, so here we are. Me sitting on the floor even though I got my chair out, watching the game. I'm currently in bunk mode. Usually when I'm hanging out in the truck, I will take this out and put it into like cabana mode just so the whole space is open, but I'm just being lazy and I just want to hop into bed later, relax, wait for our food to get done in our nice little cozy space here. And a quick update on my fantasy team. I came in 5th place, so I just barely made the playoffs. I ended with 8-5 season. Well, the season's not over, but I'm out of the playoffs. All right, y'all. The timer went off. Ready or not, shepherd's pie, here I come. Because you've been in there for entirely too long. All right. Oh, I can smell it, actually. It kind of smells a little burnt out here. Oh, man. Oh, she's ready. Oh, another 20 minutes definitely did it, and this cheese is melty. My gosh, look at that cheese pull. Absolutely ridiculous. Leave that in there. Oh, it smells like mac and cheese in here. Oh my gosh, that smoky cheese smells so good. All right, this does not look super well presented, but man, it smells so good. I am so excited. All right, let's go back into our skanctuary here. Dinner is done. We're gonna put our curtains up back here. Oh my gosh, guys. This looks so good. Shout out to everyone who told me to make shepherd's pie tonight, because, oh, take my jacket off here. I don't know why I'm like sitting back here. Honestly, I think it's just a better view for you guys and watching the game here, so. And this is gonna make it easier for me to eat as well. Sitting crisscross applesauce. I could definitely make this better, but oh well. This is amazing. We're gonna try this out, y'all. Oh my gosh, look at that cheese pool. Oh my gosh. That is delicious. I have no words. This is so good. After replacing the propane, the stove was working properly. I think that was probably my problem too, is that I had too low of a propane amount, so. Oh yeah. The carrots are cooked perfectly. There's still a little bit of a bite from the celery. The mashed potatoes are delicious. Don't let anyone tell you that boxed mashed potatoes aren't good, because they are. You can taste the garlic in here. I have no words. This is super good. Thank you to everyone who recommended shepherd's pie. And I can feel like the heater right here. This is like a perfect area right now to sit, eat, watch the game, have my beer. Cheers, y'all. Oh, with the shepherd's pie. This is delicious. I will leave a link to the recipe down below because I don't know what the Guinness did. I mean, Guinness is pretty, it's just like a stout beer, or a porter, I mean. And I think it did well for the meat. I was a little skeptical. I wasn't sure, like, because I really didn't add a lot of seasonings to this. I just like some salt and pepper. But man, these mashed potatoes are super good. So that might be where all the flavor's coming from. I'm not sure. Overall, though, I'd give this like a 9 out of 10. Have I had shepherd's pie before? We've done like a healthier version of shepherd's pie way back when. Carly's done it where we do like cauliflower rice on top instead. So if you guys like shepherd's pie, definitely try this recipe out. But anyway, I'm gonna watch the game, hang out a little bit, enjoy our meal.
And you get a new bus and set it down.
Oh man, with some Crystal's hot sauce on this, super good. I might have to go get seconds. All right, guys, I had to get one more serving here. This Crystal's, I put it on too late, and it is so good with Crystal's, so we're gonna throw a little bit on here with it. Oh yeah. Oh, Crystal's hot sauce is like one of my favorites. Oh yeah. For those of you guys who don't know, Carly's family's from the South, and that's why we fly into New Orleans all the time. We've probably been to New Orleans like close to 6-8 times. We love it there. That's probably one of our favorite cities to go visit. And having Crystals, that's our jam. But with this shepherd's pie right now, oh, it gives it like that perfect just twang, you know. It's not even that hot. It just gives it like that little, just that additional extra. So good. I mean, like with the Crystals on here, I'm telling you, this is like a 9.5 meal. Like, this is so good. I have no words.
And this opens later to the vendors. It opens.
All right, guys, getting ready for bed. Brushed my teeth. Got everything put away outside. Cozy up into our 0-degree bag. I am also going to close up the top, so we're not truly going to be sleeping in bunk mode. This is just to help the diesel heater not have to work so hard to warm up the tent. And it's just a little bit more efficient. I will be turning off the Starlink though, so let me show you guys what our battery is looking like right now. So we're currently at 70%. So I'm going to turn off the AC there so we can turn off the Starlink. And now we're just running DC, and the diesel heater is just pulling 6 watts right now. 7 watts. Yeah, so super low draw, which is really nice. Turn that off. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to close ourselves up. Also just gives me a little bit more room to spread out here, so now the diesel heater just needs to warm up this area, which is nice. Makes it a little bit more efficient. Close some of these windows up. I do have the fan rolling so that it'll help move some of this heat around here. All right.
I conform to typical high school norms, okay? I read Sylvia Plath. I listen to Bikini Kill. And I eat. I'm Lovell
All right, guys, we're gonna go to bed, watch some Netflix. Catch y'all in the morning. It's cold down here. Brr. Good morning, y'all. Super pretty day today, but it is chilly. I think, yeah, it's 30 degrees right now. 30. So I might hang out in here while I got the diesel heater still running. Let's check our battery. We've been running all night at this point. So let's see here. Yeah. For my floors, get out the way. 46%. Not bad for this little battery. I need to rearrange in here, but let's close this up. Brr. But this thing has been awesome. It's been working really well. Just to show you guys, 0 condensation. Bone dry in here, which is exactly the biggest benefit of this thing. The only thing I know I need to do is I need to go and get a new hose, because you can definitely kind of smell just a little bit of like plastic smell. It's not terrible, but you can definitely tell it's a difference. So I'm gonna go and order that probably today, just so we can have that on hand for our next cooler winter camping trip, which will probably will be, if I had to guess, like maybe Lee Canyon or something, so that we can do some snowboarding. But let me do some rearranging and let's make some coffee. All right, it's not too cold when you get your jacket on, so I'm actually gonna turn the diesel heater off because we're actually almost out of fuel. So, and I'll let it cool down, you know, before we start making our way out of here. So to turn it off, just gotta click on the off button there, and the fuel pump turns off. Can hear it stop. I'm also gonna turn off Starlink here. Actually, I turned it off last night, so I just need to put it away. Just gonna grab the box, and I'm glad it came with such a long cord, because having the long cord does make sense though, because sometimes you have to like reposition it for optimal like satellite coverage. So I'm glad they did give us a longer cord, because I was worried about that with the battery bank being in the truck and running the dish anywhere it needs to go. But it worked out really well. It blipped like twice last night for like 2 seconds because I was streaming the game, but overall it did really well. It's nice that the sun is out. I think that's really the only thing keeping me warm right now. Last night was actually quite nice. Closing up the panels in the GFC just so the diesel heater had one smaller area to warm up was actually really good. I didn't get cold at all, and I'm pretty sure it dipped down to like probably like the mid-20s last night if I had to guess. If you were like on the fence about a diesel heater and you really weren't sure about it, and you do a lot of winter camping, I highly recommend it over any other type of heater in the wintertime. I was a little bit intimidated about getting a diesel heater because you need so many different components. To get this one set up, I had to buy a lot of different things and then put everything together. But there are like all-in-one units, but they're just a lot more expensive. So this diesel heater that I'm running was only like $140 or something like that. But you do also need a battery, which is another larger cost that could be, you know, for a good battery that'll last you, I would say you're gonna spend at least like $500. But that battery can be used for anything though, so it's just a good thing to have around camp, especially if you camp a lot. This is a great setup, especially for the GFC. I do like how I have this set up right now, but I know heat rises, so if you had something that plugged in from the bottom of your truck and the warm air came out of here, that way all of the warm air rises. That wouldn't be ideal, but honestly, I don't want to drill a hole in my truck. So I have seen people do like fake tailgates where they'll put just like a piece of wood through here and then they'll plug in the diesel heater hose into this. That way it feeds the hot air in from the bottom of the truck and then warms up the rest of the area. And then you can just put a fan in here and kind of move that warm air around. I might consider doing that, but we'll see. That's just like one more thing you have to bring with you. And this, I already kind of don't like bringing because there's so many components with it. I carry a separate bag of all of this stuff because the exhaust, you got to take all that off. You got to take this off, so they ride separate. LDH Stopey has been a good brand, so I have no complaints with it. I'd definitely buy this unit again for how cheap it was. It's just a, you know, cheap Chinese diesel heater made for a very comfortable sleep. I think our water is almost done. Yeah, almost there. I also did bring some breakfast, so I'm gonna make some breakfast fried rice. Well, reheating breakfast fried rice. I made some breakfast fried rice the other day, and I'm just gonna make another egg and throw it on top. So that's our breakfast for the day. I kind of wish the coffee or my kitchen was on the other side in the sun, because it is quite cold. My hands are already freezing. This Japanese coffee is like one of my favorite instant quick coffees. Super good. They're not the cheapest though, I'm gonna say. They're like a dollar a piece. But, you know, for quality, I'm not complaining. I'll pay for $1 for a good cup of coffee. Alright, just trying to make sure I don't overflow this thing. Oh yeah. Yep. Delicious. It was like super quiet last night too. Usually in the summertime you'll hear a couple cars driving through on that main road, but I have heard no one. Maybe a single car since I've been here, which is crazy. Usually it's kind of like non-stop, especially in the summertime, because this is a pretty popular spot to escape the heat in the summer. But right now when it's cold like this in these mountains, it's a good time to be out here on your own. Oh, other than the helicopters, you do hear some helicopters running through. It's been like pretty cold these days. Usually we'll go down south, like to Lake Havasu, or Parker, Arizona, like just down south, and find warmer weather to go camping. But for some reason, like this year has been just really cold. It's like it was summer, triple digits, and then all of a sudden it just dipped in like within 2 weeks or something like that. So it's just, there hasn't been like a really good sliver of time to go like to like Cathedral Gorge, for example, or any of those areas up north, because Cathedral Gorge, it's like beautiful in the fall time, but you don't want to go when it's like too cold, because it can also dip down really cold up there. So I don't know, it's just like the weather this year has just been really weird. it's like a very slim window of when things are nice, you know? So, but we'll see. I'm hoping to maybe get it, like do a road trip out for one weekend, maybe to Lake Havasu. It's been a long time since we've been out to Lake Havasu, which is one of our favorites. It's only 2 hours away. So it's a perfect, you know, weekend little getaway. Let's get breakfast going, y'all. All right, so we got an egg and some fried rice here. We're just gonna warm up. Getting the cast iron heated up over here. Give that a couple minutes. Guys, the shepherd's pie, I am like impressed with how good that turned out. I'm excited to have Carly try it because it was just so good. It just turned out really, really well. So I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but I really did enjoy it. I'm not a big fan of cooking eggs on cast iron like this, but it's the only pan I have, so it's just gonna have to do. Use a different spatula to bring it up. Multi-purpose. Oh man, this smells so good. Nice and runny yolk. Perfectly cooked. Yeah, comment down below if you guys are winter camping people or if you enjoy winter camping. I'm always looking for new places to go check out. If there is something around within like 2 to 4 hours, let me know. Oh yeah, that is so good. Sitting out in the sun just feels so good. Breakfast, coffee, doesn't get any better. Well guys, I'm gonna get packed up, ready to go. Thank you guys for watching, as always, and if I don't see you guys again before the new year or Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a great 2024. Looking forward to 2025, it'll be a great year. So, cheers y'all, thank you guys. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. As always, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.